going to dive into this quote from Simone Biles this past week. It was gold. Yes, she's won many golds, but the way she worded this was gold. Let's get into it. Hello, butthole breathers. How are we doing this week? Olympic ceremonies close on Sunday, so I know we don't have that to watch anymore, but I'm curious. Tell me in the comments, did you keep watching the Olympics, and what sport were you watching? Was it track, basketball? I mean, gold for basketball, yay. Just so many cool things we can dive into and talk about, and I could talk about the Olympics every week. But I really wanted to focus on something this week that is so cool to see how athletes have evolved and what they're making a priority, and some of the stuff that I'm on my soapbox of talking about of stress and pain and how it affects you is coming to light, and people are discussing it, and we're seeing it play out. So Simone was interviewed, and she looked at, you can pull this up, the interviewer, and said this. I pulled it up, so it's exact. You guys really got to stop asking athletes what's next after they win the medal at the Olympics. Let us soak up the moment we've worked our whole lives for. Let us soak up the moment we have worked our whole lives for. That is just good. Yes, 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 yes. I feel like in society, we are terrible at this. We are terrible at sitting in the moment and just really appreciating it, really being in the now, the here and now, and like feeling it. Every time that, I mean, you see it with these reporters. Okay, what's next? Are you going to be in the next Olympics? What are you doing next? Are you getting married? You're like, what's next for training? Or, okay, how about this? It's like, whoa, they've worked years and years and years trying to even be at the Olympics, let alone win. Like, that is a lot. And that has a lot of stress, good and bad, which has an effect on their body. We need to all get better at just sitting in our wins and celebrating. And we're going to go talk about this a little bit more today with how I see this in my clients and myself and even my team. Something that I've implemented in my office for the doctors and, whoever works there. When we get a win, whatever that may be, that could be a goal of passing some test, getting another certification, or this client got better, or whatever it may be, we celebrate it. And like, I ask you, how are you celebrating? And that can look different for everyone. Everyone enjoys something different. I mean, some people, like, that's going out to dinner, that's having their favorite glass of wine. Maybe that's booking a trip. I don't care how it is, but I want to hear that you're taking a moment and just being like, this is pretty fucking cool, and I'm going to celebrate it. Like, because I've worked my ass off to get here. Same for athletes. So with my clients, this has been something, all these athletes and singers and stuff I've worked for, everyone's always like, what's next? I got to get this. I got to get the Grammy. I got to get the trophy. I got to win the Super Bowl. I got to do this. I got to do that. Cool. And the best part is we can get there, and we do get there most of the times, which I'm just so grateful for and so excited for them. But how are you going to celebrate? Because I hear this a lot, and I've taken a survey over the years and years of experience with the professional athletes and the celebrities. This is all, when we get in a deep conversation, I'm like, I need to ask you something as your doctor. How does it feel when you win it? How does it feel when you've won the Grammy? How does it feel when you've won the championship? How does it feel when you've played all the games? Like, is it everything you've wanted and dreamed of and more? And let me tell you the response. Yeah. My husband, when I'm making a point, I got the finger up. And now lately, when I've been really making a point, if you're watching on YouTube, it's this movement with the whole hand. So we got the finger going today. But do you know what the response is a lot of times? They look at me and they're like, Audra, I don't feel anything. Because you haven't been in the mindset of addressing the stress and the stress component. And yes, maybe you can take all the training there is, and you can take everything that life throws at you. That happens to a lot of us, right? But we're not able to enjoy the moments that we work so hard for. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm guilty of, oh, check, what's next? Next goal, next goal, next goal. And I've had to really sit back and work. And I'm still a work in progress and I get to do it with my clients, which is so awesome. It can be like we hold each other accountable of, okay, so we are working towards this goal, but we've had a small win. Let's celebrate the small win. I mean, maybe that's me going on a walk with my dog and not working 24/7. I mean, something simple like that. And now it's been so cool for the clients that I've been part of their team. And we've actually noticed that this was a component and we've been addressing it over time through like brain work and everything. Now, when they get a win or win towards their goal or the big wins, they're feeling it better, which is even going to propel them higher to next levels. And I know that sounds nuts, but it's so true. And Simone is saying this about the Olympics. Like all these athletes, they work so hard for, like, who cares what's next? We don't know. If we're not promised tomorrow. We only have right now. And right now they've won medals. They've competed at the Olympics, whatever their win may be. And just let them sit in that and be in the now. And I just think that's a great lesson for all of us. Yes, through the stories and the wins of my clients, but for all of us. I mean, this is a great example. How many of you, I'd love to know, I'm sure it's most of you, but when you're dating someone, they're like, oh, is he the one? Is she the one? Whatever. When are you getting married? And then, okay, you get married. When are you having kids? And then someone has one kid. Oh, when are you having another kid? Are you done? Let's go. And it's just constant. Next, 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 next. All of us can't just, we're very uncomfortable just sitting and enjoying the moment because you can't manage your stress and you can't sit there and celebrate and be grateful. And then we get, the stress is so high that we get pain, disease. It's all connected. And it seems so simple, but yeah, it's one of the most difficult things you'll ever do. Kind of like breathing in your butthole. I mean, it is hard, right? Like if you've listened to the past episodes, I think there's two, we'll drop in the show notes links to them, episode 17 and 63. Don't quote me, but I go through it with you. And like every client I go through it with, they're like, wow, this is hard. And it's like, yeah, sometimes the simplest things that you need to do are the hardest or the most boring, which makes it even harder to do. But they're crucial to your health and wellness and your pain. And so if you hear anything from this podcast today, please start a little ritual of celebrating the little things and little wins. Another little thing I do with my patients that I'm going to share with you guys. Start a note app in your phone and just like all the good things that happened today. And that could be, I woke up. Like that's pretty good to me. I had a really good cup of coffee. I got to work without traffic. I got my workout in. I was able to see my partner and give them a hug. I got to snuggle for 2 minutes with my dog. Whatever it may be. Just little, like for me, it would be like I cooked breakfast without burning it. I mean, that is huge for me because as you all know, if you've been a long time listener and binging the podcast, I am not a good cook. I am burning stuff most of the time. And listen, we can't be good at everything, right? That's what I keep saying. And anything adulting or like household chores, like I need to outsource that because that is just not my strength. I don't find fun in it. I would rather work. So we all got our things, and I would love to hear your things. And message me on Instagram, TikTok, what you want to hear more of, because that's where I'm getting ideas for a lot of these episodes. And it's just really fun to interact with you guys and hear what you need to hear more about. So share with me what has been good. What are you going to do to celebrate your win? Because it is so important. Sit in the moment. Toodaloo.